For decades, Boeing and Airbus ruled the skies, dominating the global aviation industry with their cutting-edge technology and vast fleets. They shaped the commercial airliner market with little real competition, setting the standards for safety, efficiency, and innovation. Airlines had a simple choice: two giants, two philosophies, one predictable rivalry that defined the industry for generations. But that era is ending. A new challenger is emerging from the East, China, not just as a market hungry for air travel, but as a determined producer ready to compete on the world stage. Years of state-backed investment, relentless research, and strategic planning are finally paying off for China's aviation ambitions. COMAC, China's flagship aerospace company, is no longer dismissed as an upstart or a regional player. It's now a force to be reckoned with. The duopoly is now a triopoly, and the global aviation order is being rewritten before our eyes, with new players and new rules. Boeing and Airbus must adapt to a competitor that's not only ambitious, but also backed by a vast domestic market, strong government support, and a growing reputation for quality. This isn't just about selling planes. It's about shifting supply chains, expanding global influence, and competing for technological leadership in a rapidly changing world. The rules of the game are changing. Pricing, innovation, and customer relationships are all up for grabs, and the stakes have never been higher. Airlines may soon enjoy more choice and lower prices, but for the long-standing incumbents, the days of easy dominance are over, replaced by a new era of fierce competition. The quiet rivalry between Seattle and Toulouse now faces a new roar from Shanghai, signaling a dramatic shift in the balance of power. The future of aviation is being shaped right now, with every new COMAC order, every successful flight, and every innovation that challenges the status quo. The comfortable assumptions of the past 30 years are being tested as the industry faces questions it hasn't had to answer in decades. The arrival of a credible third player forces everyone to rethink their strategies, investments, and long-term visions for the future. This is not just a new chapter, it's a whole new book in aviation history, with fresh challenges and opportunities on every page. The skies have never been more uncertain or more full of opportunity as a new era of global aviation begins to unfold. The game changer? A sweeping technology-sharing pact between China and Russia signed in early 2024. This isn't just a trade deal, it's a strategic alliance to break Western dominance in aerospace. Russian expertise in advanced materials and jet engines is now fueling China's ambitions. In exchange, Russia gains a massive new market and investment to modernize its own industry. The pact accelerates joint research, co-production, and the transfer of critical know-how, especially in propulsion and composites. The goal: a self-reliant parallel aerospace ecosystem, independent of Western supply chains. This agreement has already jump-started new joint ventures and slashed development timelines for Chinese aircraft. The race to build a new global aerospace order is officially on. The biggest winner so far? Without a doubt, it's the COMAC C919. Once heavily reliant on Western engines and avionics, the C919 is now rapidly localizing its supply chain, thanks in large part to advanced Russian technology and expertise. Production has surged. Output is up 40% over previous projections, a remarkable leap that's surprising even industry insiders. Key components like landing gear and avionics are now manufactured in Sino-Russian joint ventures, which is significantly reducing bottlenecks and cutting down on foreign dependencies. The CJ1000A, China's ambitious homegrown engine, is advancing at a rapid pace with Russian collaboration and could be powering commercial flights as early as 2028, marking a major milestone for Chinese aviation. The C919 is now a far more independent and competitive aircraft, less vulnerable to sanctions, and increasingly attractive to buyers both within China and on the global stage. Over 1,500 firm orders are already on the books, mostly from Chinese airlines, but interest is steadily growing in Asia, Africa, and Central Asia, signaling a shift in the global aviation market. The C919's transformation from an ambitious project to a real contender is undeniable, and its international prospects are brighter than ever before. The old duopoly's comfort zone is gone, and a new era of competition has truly begun. Russian know-how is reshaping the C919 in two critical areas: materials and engines. Direct collaboration with VSMPO Aviation has optimized titanium use, strengthening the airframe and cutting Western supply dependence. Russian composite techniques have made the C919 lighter and more efficient. On the engine front, Russian expertise in high-bypass turbofans and single-crystal turbine blades is accelerating China's CJ1000A program. Engineers from both countries are co-developing manufacturing processes, closing the gap with Western engine makers. Recent tests show the CJ1000A is approaching Western standards for thrust and efficiency. Years have been shaved off development timelines. The C919 is no longer just a Chinese airframe with Western guts. It's a true product of Sino-Russian innovation. The challenge to CFM and Pratt & Whitney is now direct and imminent. The C919's rise is shaking the global market. Chinese airlines, the world's largest buyers, are now prioritizing the C919, shutting out Airbus and Boeing from hundreds of future orders. Over 60% of new single-aisle deliveries in China will soon be C919s, up from just 20% a few years ago. This means tens of billions in lost revenue for the incumbents. With a third player in the mix, pricing power is eroding. Expect price wars and thinner margins worldwide. Airbus and Boeing must now fight harder in India, the Middle East, and Latin America to make up for lost ground in China. The market is no longer a two-horse race, it's a three-way contest with new rules. The global aerospace map is being redrawn. For Airbus, the shift is especially painful. Its Tianjin assembly line, once a symbol of partnership, now faces obsolescence as China pivots to its own jets. European leaders see the Sino-Russian alliance as a direct threat to industrial sovereignty and jobs. The C919's localization squeezes not just Airbus, but also European suppliers like Safran and Thales, threatening the entire aerospace ecosystem. ESA is cautious about certifying the C919, adding a layer of geopolitical tension. In response, Europe is ramping up R&D funding and considering tougher trade policies. The mood has shifted from engagement to rivalry. Airbus, once confident in its global reach, is now on the defensive. The competitive landscape has changed faster than anyone in Europe anticipated. For airlines, a third option is tempting, especially with COMAC's lower prices and attractive financing. The prospect of breaking away from the Airbus-Boeing duopoly is appealing, particularly for carriers seeking to expand or modernize their fleets without overspending. But cost isn't everything. The C919 still lacks the global support network of Airbus and Boeing, making maintenance and parts a concern for non-Chinese carriers. Airlines must weigh the risk of potential delays and higher costs if something goes wrong far from home. Integrating a new aircraft type means new training, simulators, and operational adjustments. Pilots and crew need to adapt to unfamiliar systems, and airlines must invest in updated procedures and safety protocols. Early feedback from Chinese pilots is positive, but international acceptance will depend on reliability and support. Pilots worldwide will be watching closely to see how the C919 performs in real-world operations. For some airlines, especially in China's orbit, the C919 offers a strategic and financial edge. It can strengthen regional ties and provide leverage in negotiations with established manufacturers. For others, the risk of unproven support infrastructure is a deal-breaker. The uncertainty around long-term reliability and global service coverage makes them hesitant. Established carriers may wait and see, while agile newcomers could jump in for a cost advantage. Smaller airlines might be more willing to take the leap, hoping to gain a competitive edge. The choice is now a strategic gamble, not just a financial calculation. Airlines must balance risk, reward, and reputation as they consider their next move. The duopoly's grip on airline fleets is loosening, and the industry is watching to see how this new chapter unfolds. The C919's rise is about more than planes. It's about power. Every sale ties another country's aviation sector to China's supply chain and standards, building long-term influence. For many nations, buying the C919 is a political statement, signaling alignment with a new industrial power. China leverages aircraft sales as part of broader deals. Think infrastructure, resources, and diplomatic support. The technology is dual-use, strengthening China's military-industrial base as well. For the West, this blurs the line between commerce and security, creating a strategic dilemma. Aggressive restrictions could backfire, but passivity risks ceding leadership. The competition is now about shaping the global order, not just selling jets. The global aerospace industry is being transformed, irreversibly. COMAC, powered by Russian technology, has broken the Boeing-Airbus duopoly. The C919's success is redrawing the market, especially in China, and forcing Europe and the US to rethink their strategies. Airbus faces a shrinking market and a threatened supply chain, while Europe scrambles to respond. The market is now defined by new pricing, new alliances, and new spheres of influence. Airlines have more choice, but also more risk and complexity. The future of aviation is uncertain, competitive, and deeply geopolitical. The only certainty: the race for the skies has never been more intense or more consequential.